Joining me now, Simon Rosenberg, president and founder, NDN, and former Clinton campaign advisor, and Larry O'Connor, host of Mornings on the Mall on WMAL in Washington and editor-at-large at IJReview.com. We've been listening to Josh Earnest, guys, and he's really getting a tremendous amount of questions about the Hillary Clinton emails and whether or not now the State Department is apparently going back through her private account and sending over for the record those emails that were deemed to be State Department or government business. Larry, how are we supposed to trust that the State Department is actually going to send over all the emails that actually they need to?
Gretchen, I'm shocked. The Clintons are the most trustworthy family in America. I'm sure that they're sending over all of the appropriate emails, and of course I hope you can read the sarcasm in my voice. This is an absolute outrage. I cannot believe that people are really going to try to defend this behavior, not only using this private account, but then going through all of the private emails and deeming which ones are worthy to be sent over to the government to be kept for archive purposes. Something tells me that maybe some emails didn't make it all the way across. And by the way, this also explains why she never responded to my email request for an interview on Benghazi. I had the wrong email.
Very good. That was very funny. All right, let's see. Simon, are you going to defend her? Did she do anything wrong?
She made a mistake. She shouldn't have done it.
For 4 years?
And I think it's regardless of whether regardless of
she
whether
is the most experienced woman in the history of the United States government,
Larry,
and she didn't know better.
Larry, I'm criticizing a Democrat, and you're cutting me off. Is that
please go ahead?
No, so I think that no matter what happens now, and whether or not all the emails are properly returned, and what happens, there's going to be a cloud of just like what you're saying. I mean, it's going to be very hard for them to ever prove that every email that was appropriate ever gets returned. And I think this was a mistake, and I think they're going to be digging out from underneath this for a long time.
Listen what some other Democrats, not using their names, but in a National Journal article are saying. This story has legs as long as the election. She will be tripping over this crap, excuse me, until the cows come home. Larry?
Yeah, I think that it's true. Now, those are unnamed Democrats. Just wait till it starts to get a little heated up and there's going to be some competition in the Democratic primary. I wouldn't be surprised if Martin O'Malley, actually, from Maryland, comes out and voices some strong concern here, similar to what he did over the weekend. This also, by the way, the other problem with this story is that it reminds the American people of what you get when a Clinton is in the White House. All of the baggage, all the obfuscation, and all the clouds, as Simon said.
You know what else it reminds me of is how the heck do we live in the most developed nation of the world in 2015, and somehow we don't have a government system to look over this kind of stuff, Simon? I mean, it's unbelievable to me that the Secretary of State of the most powerful nation in the world can set up a private email account and nobody else says, hey, maybe we should be using the government email, or that there's some sort of a oversight that would demand that to happen.
You know, I deal a lot with people in the government and in Congress, and I almost never get almost never get email from them that's on their private account. I think there's a lot of concern about this. People don't want to get in trouble. I mean, they're very careful about what they write about using their government email, and I think that it was set up. I think this was a mistake. I think there's government email for a reason. She should have used it. You can do both. People do this every day in Washington.
Or a highly calculated mistake, depending on how you look at it. Mistake is usually when you didn't actually know you were doing it, and then you kind of felt bad about it later. But be that as it may, we're going to see how this all fleshes out. Simon and Larry, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.